my manager is nice enough to submit me for it, but she kind of told me up front that a lot of commercials right now aren't casting like leading men type. Uh, and so yeah, they just weren't taking anyone at the moment, and she took like a while to let me know. But um, I don't know. I take rejection pretty good as long as I feel like I put my best foot forward, I suppose. The audition couple weeks before, I felt like I did my best, but working with a new acting coach and stuff, maybe it didn't work for that one. But by the way, I've started going to that acting coach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go week, and actually, I might meet with him twice this week,
Great.
which is just awesome, man. I feel like it's just the type of stuff where it's like before doing a big performance, it's like doing the acting work that gets me like really so that it's like so second nature. I want to go from an 8 to a 10 in my acting right now.
Right.
So that I'm just so game ready, in control. Right now, I already feel like I know what I'm doing and I can elevate material and stuff, especially when I'm working. But I want to be able to like just be such a pro where they like people come to me and already with my first practice with him, we worked on material and for like, we did two scenes in the same thing, TV show Jack Reacher. And my big thing is just kind of listening. Because before I'd like understand the circumstances, I'd
Yeah.
pretty much know why the guy was saying everything he was saying. Or if I didn't, I'd figure it out and then I could work based off that. And I was very directable, but now it's like working with a coach, like like a boxing gym, and just get so that I'm not doing anything that doesn't play well. You
Hmm.
want to do everything that like, plays well, be very intentional about what I'm putting out there. And honestly, for me, I was super pleased that like last week I got really good at making sure. And it sounds so silly because characters don't know that they're having to listen and work off the other person. Like, if you're thinking about the character's mind, that's my number one rule is try to get into the head of the character or the circumstance. But yeah, I'm really having to make sure that I like react to what the other person's doing or the moment, what's going on, and let it infuse me with something and then speak from that. Or, sometimes it just that's like the first thing you learn in acting too. So anyway.
Yeah. But working with this coach, it's like you're keeping the gears loose, kind of. You're like greasing the gears, and that's great, bro. You're like staying on it. And that thing about listening, that's really interesting, bro. That that's like the whole thing about staying in the moment. And a lot of the times, like letting everything go, doing all the prep work and everything, you're directable, whatever. But then
Yeah,
having that ability to let everything go and then just be right there with the other person, that's huge.
that is true. Yeah, and that's the fun part too. It feels like you're doing nothing. It feels like you're submitting. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Because you're
But
just here. You're like, I could make a weird facial expression or like try something weird or whatever. And if you're not right there with me, then it's not gonna feel natural. It's not gonna play.
totally. And if you think about it for the most part in real life, you're trying to listen. You're trying to engage with the other person.
Totally.
And if you get lost on, it's like, I don't know, you're allowed to do that too. And I think in your acting, you have to have all of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to work on this stuff and gain experience and real put in time to just making my my stuff for my own at the moment, really kind of just empower my acting and stuff.
And
So
bro,
so far so
imagine,
good.
hell yeah. Imagine you're playing opposite Jack Nicholson in The Departed, and he brings out a gun, which wasn't planned. That shit wasn't scripted.
Yeah.
That's him and Leo. He just pulls out a gun. It's like you gotta just be there.
Damn sure. And don't get me wrong, like I think I'm at a place for a while where I've been there. Like I've been as
Yeah.
much there as you should be. But like I'm good with it, but I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of times that sometimes I felt like I was maybe hiding behind the lines rather than like I've it's always a trap for an actor to get caught up in the lines rather than if it were an improv and you're saying, who am I for the departed? Like, I'm a young guy in Whitey Bulger's gang. Okay, what am I doing? I'm at dinner with Whitey Bulger, the kingpin.
Yeah.
Where am I? We're at dinner. Why? You know, who, what, where, when, why is like a classic improv thing, and it's a classic acting thing in general. You got to, to ground yourself. Who, what, when, where, and why. And what am I trying to portray? And then you just free go for it. And maybe like, what are you trying to accomplish in this moment? What's my character trying to accomplish? And a lot of times I felt like I was lacking of that, even though I memorized my lines. Like, it's tough enough to memorize your lines,
Right.
and when you're memorizing your lines, you're sitting with it, you're getting into the who, what, when, where, and why naturally.
Mhm.
At least I do. But I really want to get good at playing the circumstances in the relationship, and sometimes that means doing nothing, like what we've talked about. It means literally your what might be your character trying to fall asleep,
Yeah.
and you can't because it's too loud outside. That's it's not as if that's never been in a story. Come
Yeah.
on, we're portraying real life. And so, but it's just practice because I know this stuff intellectually,
Mhm.
but I think I really want to make it like so money.
Also pairing with how you feel in the moment on the day there on site. Like I heard from and I want to hear your thoughts on this, but in Mission Impossible, Tom.
Stepmom said that one time too. My stepmom said that one, not
Oh,
to
yeah.
side note you, but on her soap opera, she said that's some of the funnest part is she'll show up and she'll be in a horrible mood, and sometimes that will play well for the character.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Tom Cruise said on set of Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible, it was a shot of him like up on the roof and he's like fucking scaling down the roof and he was so fucking tired and he was in a bad mood. He was so tired and you see it play out when you watch the movie and it fucking works, bro. Everything because he's locked in. He's not like resisting that. And that's where you start to get a little weird and like a little unnatural. Audience can't really put their finger on what it is. But it's because, if you're not feeling a certain type of way on the day, you can't just be like a cookie cutter, like, this is how I'm supposed to feel because of the circumstance. So this is how it should be. It's like a melding of everything.
On the other hand, look, this is all tools anyway to try to just bring the story to life in the best possible way. And you want to be as in control of your instrument as possible. But most of the time, in regards to what you just said, the reality is you have a big scene and it's super intense or something, and you're exhausted. You've been in your trailer forever, or you're just getting brought up, whatever. For whatever reason, you're not in the mood. And you realistically, you cannot play how you feel
Mm,
as the actor. You
mm,
gotta get into the feeling of the energy of what would be happening in the scene, of the circumstances of the story. And you got to figure out how to like get psyched into that, which I don't, I think could be kind of fun. It's like inspiring, but like you
there's a
said, yeah,
certain like
sometimes
essence you can bring, right? Like if you're like, let's say you have to be really upset or whatever, you can tilt like a couple degrees in that emotion towards what you're actually feeling. Like there's certain,
if it plays
there's, yeah. But
again, I think tools, yeah.
and I'll tell you something too, bro, from a director's POV, the only thing I really give a shit about is if the actor knows their lines. If the actor knows their lines and they're not really there and they're not really feeling it or whatever, that's also on me to be able to be like, yo, it's cool. Like, this is where you're at here, and I want you to be over here, and being able to communicate that in a way, and we work together. Like, ultimately, I only give a shit. The only thing that pisses me off is if an actor doesn't know their lines, because then there's nothing I can do with them because that's such a fucking roadblock, and then they're totally closed off.
So you're saying like the technical stuff, if that's not up to speed, which is basically the easy stuff, then it's like you got no shot. Whereas at least if they know the technical stuff, then it's like you can still play with them and like,
Dude, 100%. And I feel confident, especially all the shit that I've done. I'm so confident I can take any actor. If they know their lines, we can get to
oh,
any place we want to go. It doesn't matter.
yeah. Um, so
At the
yeah, I
same
mean,
time, I want to acknowledge all the work that you're doing. There's also something there where it's like, I want to work with the actors that heighten all the shit. I can work with an actor who like base level, they know their lines. But if I have an actor on my set that like they fucking take that character to a level that I didn't even envision, go like all the way left field, then bro, that's really exciting. And then we're playing, then we're like making something.
And like we said about my audition last week, which I like, I tried another acting coach and they were like, oh, like my mom's friend, they're like, oh no, it's all off. And I'm just like, what? Like I cared so much about this audition.
Yeah.
But um we were talking about like there was a point where I heard, hey, if you're feeling on the offense when you're doing a scene and you're collaborating and you're coming up with ideas and you're having brain blasts when you're playing it and like interesting things come to mind, as long as you're doing that, that means you're doing good compared to like some actors, probably a lot of them that like just start downward spiraling in their mind when they're acting. So, and I
Yeah.
was like that, in that scene that, and by the way, I have a that movie that I did where I was the fraternity president. Apparently, they're doing like a screening in June in LA. Hopefully,
No
that'll be coming out
shit.
soon.
It's finished.
Yeah. I guess finished or something. Yeah.
Dude, if more
Um,
people can come, let me know deets. I want to be there.
you're the man. I 100% will. Thank you. I know. I'm excited to see if that's gonna happen. And God, fucking want to see it. I mean, dude, I told you the stories about on the set. Like that was one of the
Yeah.
best acting experience. Like that was
Bro, and look at
epic.
that too. Like, yeah, you can have an audition every once in a while where you're kind of kicking yourself. You learn from that, you grow from that experience. But like those highs also, it's so worth it, man, because you never know how you're gonna feel at the end of the day, if it's gonna work out or whatever. But the fact that here's the thing, bro, that was an audition. This was something that was like filmed. That's gonna be forever. It's there forever. So who gives a shit? Ultimately, at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to swap the two. This is going to be the thing that'll lead to those opportunities because people will see it. It's this tangible thing.
I suppose so, man. And it puts it in perspective because it's like when you're having that high, when you go into like shooting an actual film and you're like nervous or whatever, and but then you go do it. And for that one in particular, it's in front of all these people and stuff. It's supposed to be a party scene, multiple scenes, and you just rock it every single time. And it becomes so then you start thinking not only are you on the offensive and you're feeling
Yeah.
creative and everything, you're
Yeah.
thinking there is nothing holding me back from being the next Al Pacino or something, an incredible
Yeah.
actor. What's the difference between them and me? We're both bringing a story to life, and
Exactly.
there's nothing I won't do to make it really good. I'm putting everything in my power into making it really good.
Exactly.
I have all the tools, so why don't I just fucking go for it? There's nothing to stop me. And after that, it's like epic. So those are on the good days. And then on the bad days, you're like, shit, like qualified. So that being said, though, I mean, it's fun to talk about because even now I'm just thinking, like, you know what? On the bad days, what you rely on is that you're putting the framework into place
Yep.
to withstand. So that's good that I'm fucking meeting with this acting coach and
Yep.
working together and
Yep.
that I'm doing these things. And even that I have like other irons in the fire, I'm like, okay, I'm creating like this world of creativity for myself.
And what you just said can be applied to everything too. It can be applied to writing, directing,
Yeah.
producing. It's like, yeah, dude, that's real. Uh, I want to say again, thank you so much for reading the script. It means a lot to me. I know there's a project down the line that we're gonna collab on.
Dude,
It's fucking lit. And we'll both be hyped
you're
about
not
it. It's bro, it's just, it's on the horizon.
close, man. I can't wait to keep brainstorming with you.
Fuck yeah.
I love it, brother. Gotta get you one of these hoodies too, or they're zip ups actually.
Dude, it's sick. I really like the look of that one. It's like the first on steroids, same vibe, everything I liked about the first one, but that and the stuff on the back.
Totally. No, that's great to hear you say that. Thank you.
All right,
Dude,
brother.
I'm getting so into the artwork too, by the way, on my Adobe Illustrator. I'm like
Oh,
crushing it.
yeah. Killing it.
Yeah. I'll have to go to that another time.
Yeah, dude. Next time, next week. All right, man.
No,
Have a good
brother.
night.